How can you personalize your messaging to physicians for greater prescription intent? What are people saying about your brand? How can you make your marketing efforts more precise and effective? These and many more questions are answered on this podcast, which is here to serve as a playbook for all your pharma marketing needs. As your host, Saumya Prakash, co-founder of Multiplier AI Solutions, sits across pharma industry's top experts. This is your place to get all the insights about Gen AI, data, and beyond.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Pharma Marketing Playbook, Data Gen AI and Beyond, your go to podcast for pharmaceutical marketing, data analytics, and AI trends. Join industry leaders as we explore cutting edge trends, data driven strategies, and the impact of AI. Tune in for more actionable insights and stay ahead in the dynamic pharma marketing world. I am Saumya Prakash, co-founder Multiplier AI, and today we have a very special guest joining us. Please welcome Ms. Gauri Chaudhari, co-founder Brand Inner World. With over 27 years of experience in healthcare marketing, Ms. Gauri has been a visionary leader, helping to build and transform numerous pharma and healthcare brands. She has worked with leading companies like Nicholas Piramal, Boehringer Manheim, Abbott India, and Dr. Reddy Labs, among others. She is also the author of the bestseller The Perfect Pill: 10 Steps to Build a Strong Healthcare Brand. Today, we will explore the future of pharma marketing, discussing the impact of data, the transformative power of Gen AI, and much more. So, first of all, welcome Gauri to the show and very pleased to have you with us today. So, today we will explore the future of pharma marketing, discussing the impact of data, the transformative power of Gen AI, and much more. So, Gauri, welcome to the show and very pleased to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Soumya. It is indeed my pleasure to be part of this podcast. Very interesting topic, and I must say that it is a very welcoming initiative that you have taken up.
Thank you. So, Gauri, to start with, how have you seen the pharma marketing industry evolve over the years, particularly with the integration of AI and data analytics in the last 1 or 2 years?
Yeah. So, for pharma industry, which generally is very compliance and regulatory driven, new inventions or innovations take slightly more time to get penetrated in. But interestingly, what I'm seeing is that data analytics and AI both are gaining tremendous traction in pharma industry. What I broadly see in pharma currently, there are three types of companies. One kind is which is absolutely unaware of what is happening around and how AI can make a difference to them and their marketing decisions. There is another set of companies where people are aware of what can be brought up or brought out by AI, but not really sure whether they want to take a plunge in it. So they are wait and watch. And then comes the third group, which is relatively smaller group, I must say, is which has taken up this AI as an initiative and they are ready to go forward and make the change. Now what I see, those which who are actually using AI tools and data are the ones who are basically using the data for broadening up their reach to their doctors, being slightly more from a very broad segmentation to become more targeted approach in terms of reach, in terms of content, in terms of relevance of messaging. What I also see that they are at one level not only consolidating data, but they're bringing it out of the silos and integrating it across so that that data can become raw material for them to create kind of communication that increases engagement. These are also the companies I would say are ahead of the curve and also looking at patient centricity in a big way. But I would rather feel that these number of these companies are relatively smaller, but okay, they are the forerunner and they are the ones who probably are going to prove to the industry what best is possible by getting AI innovations into their marketing decisions, and of course data being the fundamental raw material for that.
Right. I think it's very interesting segregation that you did, from the front runners to the mid zone and those who are very early adopters or who are just trying to figure it out. It would be very nice if you could share from the leaders in the industry how some of these examples where Gen AI made a significant difference so that those companies which are kind of trying to figure out could also learn how the impact has.
Yeah. So, as all of us know, that Gen AI can don multiple hats. So, from starting from generating content to making creatives, moving on to doing analytics and helping marketers to actually, playing a role of advisory. These are the various things today's AI can do. Today I see a lot of companies are using AI, not only those who are forerunners but across the spectrum. They are using AI to create content. Where I see the difference between those who have kind of got certain traction are the ones who are creating content which is very customized and relevant to their target segments. In the past, we used to see that doctors being bombarded with very mass communication. Today, what I see is that using Gen AI, there is hyper personalization into the segmentation. In fact, there is one company I was talking to, and what they have very recently, unfortunately, they are not very pharma, but what I saw them doing is that they had message for every doctor which was customized for the doctor, and it was converted into a video. That video was actually sent by the managing director addressing the name of the doctor, talking to that doctor in a very precise manner, so that the message was absolutely relevant. Now, had it been few years back, in absence of Gen AI, this would have been a terrible experience. One, time consuming, and two, for a managing director to record so many wouldn't have been absolutely possible. But now it is definitely absolutely possible and definitely welcome. Another thing, so the first part, as I say, Gen AI, the name generative comes from the fact that it generates content and it can create path breaking creatives. In fact, we are conducting several training sessions where we are helping brand managers not only to create content, personalized content, but also render that content in terms of right design, the right picture, and all that is again within few seconds. So that kind of work is extensively done across the pharma spectrum, I would say. Maybe personalization, hyper personalization to a lesser extent, but largely done. Where I see huge role of Gen AI is in terms of analytics. There are today by which you can analyze your data, analyze market, do predictive analysis to the extent that marketing heads can take decisions, or even marketer, the brand manager, or the even the lowest in the rung, or the fresher one can actually take decisions. What I mean here is that simple thing is that when you want to analyze market, we have huge data coming externally. There is another huge pile of internal data. How much has been the sale of your brand? External data tells you how the market has performed, how various molecules have performed, how much is the volume, what is the secondary sale. Then there is prescription data telling you what is happening in the market for various brands, SKUs, yeah, etc. Now, analyzing this in the past used to take really humongous time. Now we have created GPTs, and those GPTs are available on OpenAI, or even the GPTs are companies can make depending on what their requirements are. But within few seconds, you are going to analyze market into every tiny bit of it. End of the day, when doctor is prescribing a brand, he or she is not prescribing one's brand of the same molecule compared to another. No, doctor has multiple choices. So today, when you want to analyze market and see that who is taking away my share, the answer might be another molecule. Answer could be altogether another treatment or the class of drug, or maybe altogether different treatment, which could be a surgery or something. This kind of data, doing physically analyzing, is very difficult, or manually doing, even doing it on Excel using certain programs, is really difficult. But Gen AI helps you do it within few seconds. Also, you can use various techniques of analyzing the data. You don't have to have one formula. So that is something absolutely possible, and we have created GPTs for that. Another thing where data analysis becomes very important is correlation analysis. For example, suppose I'm putting X number of inputs in one marketing territory, and if I'm doing it for past 5 months, 6 months, how is it related to my prescription? Now, thing is that UCPMP has put several restrictions. We cannot do a lot of other things we probably would have done, like giving kind of holding CMEs in a territory or having international conference in a territory. In that case, suppose you're giving a simple patient education model to a doctor, track it across the territory and see how has it impacted your brand. So instead of giving 3D model, would you like to give something in form of a booklet or a poster or something for the patients? You can track that also. So what I mean to say is that you can experiment with various inputs and see how territories are responding to your brand with that input, and then decide whether it is working for you or not. If you have data in place, Gen AI wouldn't take more than 10 seconds to give you answers. And it is not only one statistical model or formula you use, you try it multiple and see which best fits your brand and its requirements. Another, so first is content and creative, second is this analysis and advanced analytics. Next very important thing that I see Gen AI can do is basically look at real time insights from the market. There are so many patients and there are so many doctors out there. They are writing about their experiences while under treating certain diseases. Patients write about their experiences with certain medicines. It is all out there available. Gen AIs can quickly go and figure out on various blogs or networking platforms or various places where patients and doctors are speaking, bring that information back and give it to a marketing person in a manner that it is not only honest but also real time, and marketing decisions can be taken on the basis of that. So you name it and you have it. I mean, Gen AI actually can do almost everything around, and all that marketer needs to do is keep his eyes open and should be technologically savvy enough so that whatever is brought out is used in the best possible way.
Yeah, again, so I think for our listeners and viewers, it's very interesting examples of how an MD is speaking to his customers, right from there to doing analytics and trying to understand why the particular drug or the molecule is facing competition from another competing molecule or is another therapy, understanding the patient care pathways and stuff like that. So I think Gen AI helps more creative output than ever before, and it's left to the imagination of the brand managers how they can actually do the various permutations and combinations and come up. Though it's very inspiring to hear these, Gauri, definitely there must be challenges that these companies must have encountered while building these AI models. And as entrants into this field, could you list some of the challenges that you have seen the clients face and how did they overcome these
Yeah,
challenges?
so first and foremost, I think AI literacy is the biggest challenge. What is happening in the market is that the youngsters are very enthusiastic. They are trying various AI tools which are available in the open domain, and they use it to the best of their ability. Unfortunately, because they are not trained well enough to use some of these GPT platforms or some of the AI tools, they land up getting answers from Gen AI, which are in a way we can call hallucinations. So they look correct answers, but in reality, they are not. And a person who is a senior who has spent enough time in the market realizes that answers that have come are not to the mark. And that is where the clash is happening. The youngsters are bringing out information and ideas and analysis, etc., from Gen AI, and the seniors are outrightly rejecting them. The whole of this saga, it so happens that most of the seniors believe that Gen AI is not really a solution because it can give wrong answers or irrelevant answers, or it can simply hallucinate. And that is the biggest challenge everyone is facing. Now, the solution to that is having very formalized training. In fact, we are spending long hours with our clients, and we are helping them understand what kind of prompts actually are helping pharma brands. because pharma requirements are very specific and different. So what is it that pharma brands need to do? We are helping them engineer prompts, we are giving them ready to use prompts, as a result of which the answers that come are more customized, relevant, and not hallucinations. So that is the first thing. So besides AI literacy, what is really bothering the marketers and the companies is something that we have been facing for a while, and that is about data privacy. When we are dealing with patients and their treatments, and doctors and their views about treatments, we have to be absolutely guarding our data, because breach of any data could have serious consequences. So how do we keep the data protected? How do we still keep it flowing enough so that it is not in silos, it is integrated, and it is in a usable format? These are some of the issues that are being faced by pharma companies. I'm sure it is faced by every other industry, but our industry being more compliance driven and regulated industry, we have to be absolutely clear about how data is being used and collected and protected.
Right. I think that's a very important point because security and regulation keeps makes us wonder how much to open and how much to keep closed. I think that's the constant question which keeps coming up from side. They want it more closed and secure, whereas marketing wants more reach outs. So that's the constant dilemma that we go through.
True.
However, based on your experience and your interactions in consulting, how do you see the trends going on? How much would be the adoption of AI and in various use cases going forward?
I feel that unlike the previous innovations where pharma industry was almost a laggard, or very late majority, with AI, I think pharma industry is going to be not at least laggard. I'm not saying it's going to be a forerunner compared to other industries, but definitely not the late one. Reason being that lot of applications of AI are in healthcare, be it diagnosis, be it clinical precision, clinical trial precision, be it drug development. I mean, you see the use cases today with AI, so many of them are related to healthcare. Another thing what I see is happening in the pharma industry is that they are realizing that solutions have to be pill plus, which essentially means that most of the disorders can be treated with medication, but there are several other technological interventions which can help you treat disease better. As simple things like vertigo, like you may be on treatment, but going forward what helps you is actually certain kind exercises of neck and head. Now AI helps patient even do those exercises in a easier way. With meta and VR coming, the solutions are so much into the area where patients can see the difference, be it in a very trauma situation. Like sometimes patients are so depressed and they cannot even move their single finger, or they cannot walk. When meta comes into the picture, and with VR and reality, one can see that patients see themselves achieving success, and they feel and they actually realizes that something with physiotherapy which was so painful, but VR helps you their morals high and the motivation, so that patients continue doing certain things. So we are seeing several benefits, like in migraine or a lot of mental health issues. AI is helping, and there are use cases. Now this is from the treatment side, but when marketers start using some of these tools for the patients into pill plus situation, the results are really great. And that is where the pharma industry has started worldwide adopting several newer innovations. So that's one part of it. Second thing, what I see going forward, there is no going back when it comes to Gen AI. This is like, so I, yeah, this is something, I say that resisting Gen AI is something like maybe 50 years back, somebody had resisted calculators, or somebody would have said, I will never use internet. Now, today we would just laugh at them because that's something is not possible. Gen AI is absolutely in that zone. The way it can revolutionize the way you do work, it's very different. So even at a professional level, at individual levels, we are going to have AI assistant helping us. It won't be very far that a pharmaceutical representative who is working in the field has his own little AI assistant on his iPad or on his gadget, or on his mobile phone, who can help that person actually quickly download or quickly register the conversation that happened with the doctor, the long forms that he fills in order to send data to head office. All that can be simply automated. Plus, AI can actually help solve medical representative and doctor's communication and the question raised by the doctor then and there and with credibility. Chatbots are going to be there which can help patients get answers 24 by 7, so companies can engage into chatbots. Today the chatbots which are developed with Gen AI can actually vouch for credibility and relevance, credibility from the medical information point of view and relevance in terms of the question asked by the patient. So going forward, one is going to only explore various possibilities with Gen AI. Resisting is actually impossible, or at times, I mean, it is just being stubborn. But what I see very important is that top management has to understand how Gen AI can be implemented into the company and what are the requirements for that. Otherwise, the bottom up approach is going to be ad hoc approach, is going to be trial and error of approach, and which won't be much systematic way. So if the top management is ready, the top management understand the nuances, it's going to be the real game changer. And such companies which are ahead of the curve using Gen AI are also going to see the reflection of it in the performance. They are going to perform much better. The efficiencies are going to go up. Effectiveness is going to go up. So going forward, it's only your imagination, and that can come real. Is the kind of nature Gen AI has.
Wonderful. So many new, ideas definitely that our viewers can learn from. However, for the new entrants in the pharma marketing field, any particular advice would you give them on how they could leverage AI for their marketing, and any tips that would be helpful for them?
First of all, I would say learn systematically wherever you can. I mean, we are conducting a lot of trainings, but I'm not saying it's only us. I'm sure there are a lot of experts out there who are helping people implement AI solutions. So, first and foremost is learn it, go out, and because don't try it on your own, it is not worth it. Your IT departments are not going to be very, what do you say, are not going to listen or see it just happen. So there has to be Gen AI policy for the company. Don't do it without understanding. Learn as much as possible. And third is, it's always important that experiment on a smaller basis, iterate it, and then whatever are the learnings true for your company, for your customers, implement them. It cannot be just foolishly. It's not a fashion that we are talking about. AI is not something that just because everyone is talking so it's fashionable to talk about it. No, it's a technology. There is a method to it, and every company will have very different solution for its own. So the biggest challenge every company is going to figure out or face is that they have to understand how they are going to chalk out the roadmap for them to become a Gen AI savvy company.
So, since you're also an esteemed author, we'll take the privilege of asking you from your book, since you address today's pharma marketing landscape from a different perspective, could you share some insights that are particularly relevant, especially in the context of AI?
Yeah, so my book actually is The Perfect Pill: 10 Steps to Build a Strong Healthcare Brand. Actually, it talks about 10 fundamental steps every marketer must follow to make a brand a strong brand, because brand creation is relatively something that everyone does, but creating them as a strong brands, significant brands, brands which lead their individual markets is a journey, and that has to be followed in a methodical way, and there are 10 steps to it. So this book talks about those fundamentals with lots of examples, something that marketer finds very easy to relate with. But in the past, when people read it and they would try to do it, they would do it manually. So what we have done, we have actually published another a book, or rather it's a compilation of 100 prompts, which so almost 10 prompts per step, which marketer can put into any of the Gen AI platform and start getting answers. So now it is not only the thinking about those steps and kind of working out solutions for your brands, but here you take help of Gen I. So your natural experience, your human intelligence, and answers provided by Gen AI can actually give you brand plan ready to make your X brand into X raised to 10. And those answers, when we actually have done a lot of, we are working with a lot of brands in the industry today. We use those prompts, and as a solution, what is given by an AI is phenomenally superior. Of course, there's no denial of the fact that human intelligence is supreme, and whatever answers come, they need to be validated basis the experience one has in the market. But together, my book and the compilation of those 120 prompts today help get answers from Gen AI in a very different manner.
It's wonderful. So, thank you, Gauri, for sharing your insights and experience with us today. Your journey and expertise are truly inspiring and give us a much better understanding of the evolving landscape in pharma. To our listeners, we hope you found this episode of Pharma Marketing Playbook, Data Gen AI and Beyond as enlightening as we did. Remember, staying ahead in the rapidly changing world of pharma marketing requires continuous learning and adaptation, and conversations like these are crucial in guiding our journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. For more updates and episodes, follow us on social media and visit our website. Until next time, this is Saumya signing off. Stay innovative, stay informed. Thank you. Thanks, Gauri, for your valuable time and coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for joining us in this episode. We hope that the deep insights and knowledge shared today will help your business and brand grow by leaps and bounds. Remember to follow the podcast. And if you wish to know more about Multiplier AI solutions, please visit the links given in show notes.